This is BBA Sports on day 8 of the NFL Mock Draft Series. Today is the New Orleans Saints as they continue to rebuild around Tyler Shough and the hopeful growth from year 2 from him as they phase out older and more expensive contracts for younger and cheaper players in the draft and hopeful to get new starters. Hope you enjoy the video. Hello there, and welcome to day 8 of the NFL Mock Draft Series for the 2026 draft cycle. This is BBA Sports, and we continue with the New Orleans Saints. Don't forget, we have the superstar ranking, the dependable starter ranking, the shaky starter ranking, the quality backup ranking, the fringe backup ranking, and the practice squad player ranking. I've been told by several people that my fringe backup sounds like I'm saying French baguette. So I'll make sure that I try to emphasize fringe backup going forward. Today, the Commanders' picks are in their for their first round pick, eighth overall. Then they have a second, a third, two fourths, two fifths, and a sixth. So let's get into it. For their first round pick, eighth overall, the Washington Commanders selects David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech. I have him as a superstar and this pick as an A overall. I really like David Bailey. He is not my top edge player at like Ruben Bain, but unlike Ruben Bain, who is definitely a more of a power edge player who uses quickness, David Bailey uses quickness and speed. He is bigger than Ruben Bain, and he is a lot faster. He's the opposite kind of edge player than from Ruben Bain. And think of it like this. Chase Young on one side, who's been a really good starter for you guys this past couple seasons, and then David Bailey on the other, rushing the quarterback. That is going to be an elite edge room. Just with those two guys. Then you have some decent backups along the way, which will definitely help the rotation of the room, but this is going to be a great necessity need for this defense to take the next step going forward for the Saints defense. For their next pick comes from the second round, which is Denzel Boston, wide receiver from Washington. I have him as a dependable starter and I have this grade as an A. Like I've said in previous episodes, Denzel Boston is a good red zone receiver, a good catching receiver, a good, if you need to get the first down receiver, he is a good, I can't remember the specific term, but he's a good catching receiver. He's also decent at route running and decent speeds. He's got great size. He fell a little bit in this mock draft, and the Saints need another wide receiver opposite Chris Olave, especially with his injuries that have been going on, and also trading her away, Rashid Shaheed. Receiver is definitely a big need for the Saints, and addressing it in the draft is very helpful going forward. Getting a good, decent wide receiver for Tyler Shough is going to be great because you have Travis Etienne at running back. Alvin Kamara, we're not sure what's going on there, but still a good running back. You have Devin Neal, Kendre Miller, then adding Denzel Boston with hopefully a healthy Chris Olave, Devon and DeValvel in the slot is going to be great playmakers around Tyler Shough to continue in year two of the Saints rebuild. With their next pick, it comes in the third round, 73rd overall, and that pick is Will Lee the third, cornerback from Texas A&M. Again, another dependable starter and another great A overall ranking. Um, Definitely with the addition of Kool-Aid McKinstry and adding Will Lee also into that secondary is going to be great. Corner, imagine Chase Young and David Bailey on the edge on the front with Kool-Aid McKinstry, Willie the third, and Quincy Riley in the back. Willie can then compete with Isaac Iadom, and then several of the other cornerbacks that the Saints have. But definitely bringing in competition because the Saints have been in calorie salary cap hell for so long, and adding young players to compete for starting positions in their roster is going to be very helpful moving forward and getting into a position that is great for competing in the future for the Saints. Their next pick comes from the fourth round, and that pick is J.C. Davis, offensive tackle from Illinois. I give this a B plus rating and have a projection of a shaky starter for J.C. Davis. Let me go ahead and move myself. But J.C. Davis um, showed promise, but still has some things that he needs to work on. But they have older offensive line, except for Talise Fuaga and uh, Kelvin Banks, but he can be a good backup for them and maybe could even be moved to the inside if needed. But they definitely have a good younger starting, but they need to replace some of those backups. And J.C. Davis, I feel like, could be a good swing tackle and maybe even go inside to be offensive guard. For that next pick, I have them taking Zaki Wheatley, safety from Penn State. I gave this draft a B overall, and again, another shaky starter projection. The Saints adding star potential starter after potential starter is great for this team. Having Justin Reed and Jonas Sanker and adding in Zaki Wheatley for good rotation and hopefully to become at least a shaky starter for the Saints team is going to be great. For their fifth round pick, I have them taking Dion Burks, wide receiver from Oklahoma. Again, another shaky starter potential with a B plus ranking for me. Giving at least a good fourth receiver is going to be great. To add in some, hopefully for rotation, he's definitely a more of a smaller speed kind of guy. So maybe he can take over some of those Rashid Shaheed kind of duties. Um, excuse me. So that's their fifth round pick. For their next fifth round pick, I have them taking John Michael Gillenborg. That is a mouthful. John Michael Gillenborg, tight end from Wyoming. I have him as a quality backup. Definitely had some promise, but let's look at this tight end room. Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, and some. Those are the two proven tight ends that they have. Um, Again, an older tight end in Noah Fant. Juwan Johnson as a has come into be at least a shaky starter for them. So adding a good quality backup tight end to hopefully in the future either take Noah Fant's spot or even just continue to be a good tight end for them is going to be very helpful go moving forward. Their last pick of the draft is Keyshawn Elliott, linebacker from Arizona State. Again, another C plus ranking. And this is a fringe backup. but I feel like he has a specific role that he can play. Um, I don't remember what I had written down because I forgot to write it down because I had something I want to say, but I completely forgot what I wanted to say. But I feel like he can play a specific role in the Saints defense. Um, Adding backup material and could become into a quality backup at some point, but having a roster that is now filled with hopeful future starters and hopeful future backups is great for the Saints situation. Let's look at their draft results. Let me move myself back over here. Let's look at these draft results. Again, I gave this an A minus with all these influx of new hopeful starters, hopefully either from day one or by the end of year two is going to be great for the Saints team as they phase out older contracts and bring in newer and cheaper contracts. They have David Bailey, Denzel Boston, Willie the Third, J.C. Davis, Lakeith Wheatley, Dion Burks, John Michael Gillenborg, and Keyshawn Elliott, a superstar, two dependable starters, three shaky starters, one quality backup, and one fringe backup. Excuse me. This is going to be great for a rebuilding Saints team as they continue to rebuild around Tyler Shough. This is BBA Spat. This is BBA Sports. Come back tomorrow as we talk about the Chiefs. Hope you all continue enjoying the videos. Please like and subscribe below. Thank you for everything and peace.